Have you ever noticed that after you've been with a man, his life starts falling apart? So he might lose his job, his business may tank, um, things just, he might have a family member or someone that he knows passes away. He may have a physical response, such as breaking out in hives, literally. But here's the kicker. He like still can't stay away from you. Energetically, he is very tied to you. And he actually may know that you may not actually be a good person for him, but he is drawn to you. If this sounds familiar, I need you to watch this video and listen up, because this is not a coincidence. This is the spiritual truth about powerful women and why weak men cannot survive in your energy. So I already have one video on this channel that talks about how you as a woman, how your body will respond when you are with a man who is energetically weak, when you are with a man who is toxic. And because there are not a lot of women who are energetically up to par, like that are really stepping into their power, very rarely do we hear about what happens on the opposite end. When you are a very powerful woman, you harness a lot of feminine energy, you harness a lot of sexual energy, and how it affects men when they are not up to par energetically. And I can speak of this from experience because it's pretty much happened to me with almost every relationship that I have been in. Yeah, so let's go on ahead and get into it. So let's talk about the energy of a high vibrational woman and what that looks like, okay? There are women who they vibrate so high that you are not just dating a man. You are activating their energy. And in activating their energy, you are essentially exposing them. You are exposing the low vibrational energy that they carry. So when you have naturally high vibration, that energy is like a mirror. And it doesn't only just reflect who that man is, but it will amplify whatever is already inside of him. So if he is a man that is stable, he's ambitious, he's in alignment, your energy will be able to elevate him. But if he is weak and if he is insecure or living out of integrity, and you're a high vibrational woman, your presence is essentially going to shake his foundation. And that's when the downfall happens with this man. And I'm going to give you guys a few occasions on how my relationships, my past encounters with men, how this has happened in my own personal life. You are a catalyst when you are a high vibrational woman and you are around weak men. Your energy is either going to force the man to level up or fall apart. Because, see, I always meet men when they're doing well. I don't meet the man that has no job. I don't meet the man that doesn't have anything going for himself. This is where a lot of women go wrong. A lot of women will just, they will meet their match energetically. So she may have a job, she may have a house, she may have a car, but energetically, she's vibrating very low. And so that makes her be attracted to the man that has no car, has no job, at the bus stop, thinking that she has to build a man up. I've never done that. I've always been with men that have had their shit together. And then as soon as I get with them, they lose their job, they get laid off, their business starts failing. Things start happening to them not too long after I get involved with them. And it's very easy to think that, well, I'm the common denominator in this, so it must be something wrong with me. I must be the one that is ruining all of these men's lives. Or if you're watching this and this is happening, you may be thinking that. That is not what is happening. Okay? That's not what is happening. What essentially is happening is that Nothing weak can survive in the presence of true power. Okay. You have to always remember that. In high power and high elevation, nothing weak can survive there. This is the reason why they say it's lonely at the top. It's lonely at the top because only so many people can ascend and go through what it is necessary to get them to the top. So when you are vibrating very high, you are essentially filtering, your energy is filtering through people to see who can withstand the test of time in your energy, right? So your energy is purifying in a way. It's a cleanser, it's a filter. So it will burn away a lot of illusions. And there are some men that simply cannot take the heat when the veil is lifted, when the mask is taken off. So I have 3 examples of how this has happened in my life. Okay. So there was one man that I dated, and he lost his job like not too long after we had got in a relationship. And like he was making great money, he was very generous, he was spending money on me. And he lost his job out of nowhere. And it took 9 months for him to be able to find a job. 9 months. And this was back when I was maybe 24. I was very, very young. But it was a direct reflection of his instability. And then you want to know what's even crazier? He could have gotten a job a lot sooner, but he liked to smoke weed. He liked to smoke weed. And so essentially what he would do is he would use his brother's pee to go pass the drug test or whatever. So this was his first opportunity to be able to get a job, his first callback, because he was a blue collar man. He was a blue collar worker. He liked to smoke. He used his brother's pee. And mind you, this man has been doing this shit for 10 years. He's been doing this for 10 years, and he's been able to pass the drug test every single time. Every single time for 10 years, because he was older than me. He takes his brother's pee in, and it's not to tempt. He had a whole system. He's been doing it for so long. He had a whole system. And his system failed him with the first job offer that he got after 9 fucking months. And essentially what that was a reflection of his instability. That was a reflection of his low energy. My presence didn't cause it. I didn't go and prepare the pee for him. I didn't go in the bathroom stall and pee for him and give him the pee and do stuff like that. I didn't do any of that. And this has been successful for him for 10 years. It essentially just sped up the inevitable. It just sped up the inevitable. When you are high energetically, all it's going to do is expose shit right away. How your future is going to look right away with this man, because it's a test. It's a test, and it's a way for you to see how are they if they lose their footing. Because when you're a powerful woman, you're a mirror. You're the test for everyone, right? You're going to make people question their values. You're going to make people question what they're doing with their life, with their trajectory, with their productivity, with them achieving their goals. You're going to be the one to make them question those things. And so with your energy, you're putting them in a predicament where they are forced to have to find their footing. Then I had another guy, my ex-boyfriend. He has a business, right? And not too long after we were with each other, his business started failing. He ended up having to owe a lot of money in taxes. And I tried to warn him. I was so nice that I was going to use my divinity, and I was so nice I was going to use my intuition to try to help this man, because I knew the family member that he was doing business with was a snake. It was his cousin. And he said, oh yeah, my cousin wants to be a part of me with the business. He has a business of his own and he wants to become a part of my business. And I said, I don't think you should do that. I think that's a very poor business decision. Um, Blending business with family is usually not a very good decision at all. And then just based off of his cousin's track record, I didn't feel comfortable with him getting in business with this person. And he's like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You know, no one knows my cousin like me. You don't know him. You'd have to meet him. Just yada, yada, yada. Same old, right? And so essentially, his cousin, his cousin knows the person that was doing my ex-boyfriend's taxes. And essentially, his cousin and the guy that does his taxes pretty much hid it from my ex-boyfriend that the place that he bought had owed like a ton of money in back taxes. Like I'm talking hundreds of thousands of dollars in back taxes. And I was like, and you mean to tell me that's the person that you were going to go into business with? You mean to tell me that you were going to go into business with someone who was pretty much hiding the fact from you that your business, you owed all this money in back taxes for business, and then had the nerve to, once he found that out, he wasn't going to tell you, and then all of a sudden he doesn't want to be in business with you anymore. You've now decided, oh, he's not going to be a good business partner. And I tried to tell you. And then I tried to give him advice on how he needs to run his business to be able to make money. And he didn't want that advice. He was stressed. Things weren't working. He couldn't figure out why. But I was able to. He was out of alignment. He had been cutting corners. You know, he had been doing things, not having enough foresight, not enough integrity. And my energy of him just being there was enough to expose all of that. And it was only a matter of time before his foundation had cracked. And then there was another guy. So I actually knew this guy through mutual friends. Honestly, I had no intentions of being serious with this guy. Okay. It was just a fling. Honestly, it was just a fling. Did not take this guy seriously or whatever. So we were intimate at one point or whatever. And he tells me, because he was obsessed. He got very obsessed with me. He got very possessive with me, and we had only slept with each other one time. And I already had known that, okay, I can't deal with this man ever again because I didn't even pull out all my best stuff. And he was like getting crazy obsessed with me and trying to be like in competition with my friend or whatever. So I didn't want to deal with him anymore. And he was literally begging me. He was offering to pay my bills. He was doing anything. He was like begging. And so eventually, he had told me he would always say it because he was trying to play the game, essentially. This is what he was trying to do. He was trying to play the game and try to make it seem as if he could cut me off first, and he figured that I was going to run after him. And when I didn't run after him and when his plan didn't work, it made him want to chase after me even more because he realized that his plan didn't work. So I didn't chase after him. So he was getting more and more desperate to get an attempt to gain me liking him, gaining my validation, et cetera, et cetera. And so he said, you know, you're so bad for me. Like, I know that you are bad for me, but I still want to deal with you. I know that you are not good for me, but I still want to deal with you. Men tell me this all the time. They tell me this all the time. They like my energy, but they cannot live in it. Most men cannot live in the energy that I bring because you have to be a very high level person to be in this energy. I have a lot of strong energy around me. And so he's like, yeah. And he was like, I never wanted to tell you this, but he was like, after we were intimate, I broke out in hives. I broke out in hives. He's like, I've never broken out in hives before. That was his own body rejecting me. And he still did not want to fucking leave me alone. He was like, I knew something was wrong when I broke out in hives, and I still wanted to deal with you. His body was rejecting my energy. And it's not because I was toxic. he did not have the ability to be able to process my energy. So when things are going wrong, when things become very catastrophic in other people's life, it's not because you're toxic. It's not because you're toxic. It's because they cannot live in your energy. It's too high. It's too high. So the next thing that I want to talk about is karmic lessons, and then also like sexual energy transference, right? Because why does this happen? Why do men's lives fall apart after being with certain type of women? So one reason is because of the energy transfer that happens during sex. Your sacral chakra, when you have it good, when it's open, when you are free flowing with creativity, when you are just very sexually expressive, when you don't hold any shame, when you don't hold any guilt, when you can just be free, you harness a lot of strong sexual energy that you are storing in your sacral chakra. That energy that you carry that is very high vibrational, the man is not just getting your body, he is also getting your energy. But if his spirit is not strong enough to handle it, he will short circuit. That's essentially what's going to happen. He is going to short circuit from how high your energy is. You've given him too much and he cannot handle it. So this is why there are some men, they actually do thrive after sleeping with certain women, and why others decline. This is what sex demons do. I've only been able to encounter one man in my whole entire life that had more sexual energy than me, where he was a straight up sex demon and my energy was literally depleted afterward. I've only met one man in my whole entire life that was ever able to deplete my energy after sex, ever. I have a lot of high energy carried in my sacral chakra. So it all depends on that person's ability to be able to process the energy exchange through sex. A weak man is going to absorb a woman's high vibrational energy, but he is not going to be able to hold it, right? And so essentially, they pretty much get overloaded. They get overloaded on your energy, and this is when they're going to have financial struggles. They're going to have emotional turmoil. They're going to start having physical symptoms. A man that is vibrating higher, he will be able to integrate this energy and use it to level up. And hopefully, if you're with someone that is worshiping you, they will use that energy and pour that energy into you. Most men are energy siphoners. So they will take your energy and they won't pour anything back into you. And they don't have any energy to give you, because the only way that they're able to get energy is from you. This is why you have to vibrate very, very, very high as a woman. It is repellent. It is repellent. You will not have a man overstay his welcome when you are vibrating high, because right away their life is going to start getting fucked up. And essentially it's letting you know this is how your life is going to look. You get to see, sit front row center. He lost the job. You get to see right away. How is he in a job loss? How long is it going to take for him to get back on his feet? How quickly can he come up with a game plan on how he's going to get money? How quickly can he emotionally regulate when something happens, when a family member passes, when a situation does not go his way? How quickly will he be able to recover? Now, karmic relationships and spiritual lessons that come from these relationships. There are women that serve as karmic teachers. Every single relationship that you have in your life is karmic. There is a reason why you met a certain type of person, why you had that certain type of relationship. Do you mean it's like a warning to ourselves if we stay? Yeah, it's a warning. This is how your future is going to look. This is how your future is going to look with said man. If you stick around longer, this is how your future is going to look. So your relationships are always karmic. And so when you enter a man's life, he's supposed to learn something from you. He's supposed to learn something from you. And if he resists that lesson, and if he tries to stay the same, despite the changes with your presence triggering him, his life is going to crumble under the weight of his own stagnation, just like how it happened with my ex-boyfriend that decided to that was making shitty business decisions. His business, I think he sold it because he did not know how to manage the business. And instead of taking my high vibrational power in worshiping the feminine, worshiping the intuition that a woman has, he decided to go against it. I'm about 99% positive that he ended up selling the business because he was not able to be willing to put his pride aside and worship the divine feminine and say, you know what, she's probably right. There are probably things that I should be doing better. And so his business ended up failing. Your energy as a woman is always going to shine a light on where a man is lacking. The feminine puts a mirror to the masculine every single time. I briefly dated someone a couple of months ago, and 1 month after meeting, his business started to decline. He sweetly walked out of my life. Exactly. When things happen very quickly like that, your energy is too much for them. They have to go on their own and find someone weaker, find someone vibrating lower, or just deal with their shit alone. If a man refuses to evolve, his foundation will collapse. The best men are the men that realize that you're vibrating too high and they walk the fuck away from you. I've had that happen to me too. Met a guy, of course, I wasn't smart, but he was my bodybuilding coach. He got me free training sessions because he thought I was cute. But I ended up dating him. His business tanked. He didn't feel confident enough to be with me. He was very insecure. I was living in a high rise, beautiful building. He was living in a small studio apartment, carpeted floors, the old shag carpeted floors, very old, outdated kitchen, very cheap. He had a lot of insecurity around where he matched up, what I did for a career versus what he was doing for work. His business started to decline. And essentially, he broke up with me. And he was like, you want to know what? I'm not where I need to be. I am not where I need to be. So I'm just going to leave you alone. I'm not going to waste your time. Any man that does that, any man that says that they don't deserve you, they're not ready for you, you need to believe them. They can feel the energy. They know that the energy is not matching. It's not aligning. And instead of them trying to force it, they just put their hands up and say, you want to know what? You really do deserve better. You really do deserve someone who can match your energy and who can give you what it is that you want and what it is that you deserve. So I'm going to go mind my business and work on myself. I dated a guy recently, moved into a beautiful apartment. He went distant quick. We don't date anymore. Exactly. You're ascending too high for this man. Men know this. It does not make them feel comfortable. Not on a physical level when it deals with when it comes to their masculinity, but also energetically. This is why adornments, This is why your jewelry, your nails, if you put on makeup, how you do your hair, adorning yourself is spiritual. Interior decorators are usually women because they're adorning their home. They're beautifying their home. Beauty and adornment is a spiritual practice. So when you are in a very, very beautiful place, that is a spiritual practice. And men who are not elevated to that level to be able to appreciate that or match that energy, they're going to make your life harder, or they're going to walk away out of your life altogether. See, a confident man will root for your success. A confident man that is vibrating at your level. That's the thing. Anyone could root for you. Anyone could root for you. But if he is not where he wants to be, if he is not where he needs to be energetically, it's not going to matter if he roots for you or not, because he's not happy with where he is. There are plenty of people there, they can be very happy for you and not happy with them, not happy with themselves, right? And that's how it is for a lot of men. They can be happy for you, but they're not there yet. And they know they're not there yet. So they do you the favor of saying, you want to know what? I want to be able to clap for myself and be happy with my own accomplishments. That's what a man is supposed to do. Stay out of the game until your energy is where it needs to be. Essentially, it's an assignment. It's a spiritual assignment. It's a test as to whether they're going to fail or pass in your presence of you being so high vibrational. That's essentially what it is. So don't take it personal if they ghost you after you have a high level of success or they see you ascending, especially now. Venus is still in retrograde. I think we have about 2 more, I can't remember. We have 1 or 2 more weeks where Venus is still in retrograde. If Venus retrograde, if you are doing it right, you should have had illusions lifted from your relationships. You should have had people dropping off. There should have been some clarity in the relationships with your life, whether it's with your family, whether it's with your friends, whether it's with a significant other. I love a man who knows what's up. I had an ex who was so secure, he would buy me all kinds of beautiful things and take me out just to show me off. I should have moved to Europe. But yeah, we are in that timeline. We are in that time of life where relationships are going to you're going to be dropping off people. People are going to be exposing themselves. What if we meet someone during this time? Is it bad or karmic because I'm tired? If you meet someone during this time, because also Neptune is in Aries. Neptune is all about illusions. You may fantasize someone. You may be fantasizing about someone or painting like a dream or a fantasy in your head revolving these people. I really do think that you should understand the current transits that are going on. You can watch Joni Patri. She has a really good channel, and she literally talks about, she does it through Vedic astrology, but she will do a whole breakdown for the weeks. She'll explain all the transits every single day, what to expect that day. She does it on a global scale though. So you need to know your own birth chart to know how you are going to be affected energetically and like astrologically. You need to know your own birth chart. But she will talk about the transits and how on a wide scale it will impact most people. Now, the men that will be able to handle your energy, right? Men that are stable within themselves, they're not going to need to feed off of your energy. They have their own energy, right? They're not going to try to control you. They're not going to try to possess you. They are just going to let you be. Energy is supposed to be free, right? Energy cannot be created or destroyed. I put her name in the chat. The content creator where you can look at her for astrology. She does Vedic astrology, but she's really, really good. She talks about like things that are going on in the world, political events, and things like that. And energy is free, right? Real men that are vibrating very high, they're not going to try to contain your energy. They're not going to allow your energy to throw them off. Weak men, insecure men, those are men that are not grounded. This is the reason why when you're around them, everything starts getting fucked up in their life because they're not stable. They're on very shaky ground. And this gets exposed very quick because of your energy being so high. This is why if you're going to deal with men, you need to be in the highest energy, the highest confidence, the highest self-esteem, the utmost self-love. You literally need to be ascending super, 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 super high. That way, you can filter out all of the dusties, filter out the low energy demons, and not have to deal with any of the mess that they come along with. Now, how do you know that you're that girl? You know, you're that woman. You're the kind of woman who essentially shakes men to their core. Okay. I feel as though there are a few telltale signs for you to be able to know this. Number one, men's lives, they are going to change after being with you. Now, mind you, your energy your energy stays elevated throughout all of this. Okay. So when I tell you these telltale signs, this is not at the expense of your energy being siphoned. Because remember, in order for this to happen, your energy has to be super, super high. And you're able to discern, you're able to have enough intuition that you are not with the man that is siphoning your energy. So when I tell you all these things, you are still ascending. Men's lives will change after being with you. They're either going to elevate or they're going to decline, but they're not going to stay the same. Either a lot of good is going to happen or a lot of bad is going to happen. When you are very irresistible, to men and they know, like they literally know you're not good for them. You're a challenge. You're difficult. It's based in energetic attraction. They know that they cannot handle you. They know that long term it wouldn't work out, but they cannot stop coming back. I literally have men who are friends with me on social media. And like, I have one guy, I slept with him, and he literally told me, he was like, I literally have to like mute your stories because me just looking at your stories, it like does something. Like it really does like draw me in, and it makes me want to talk to you. It makes me want to try to hang out with you. It makes me want to make plans for you. But I know that I cannot do that. So when men understand that just by them looking at you, just by them being friends with you on social media, and they literally have to work hard to avoid looking at you because they know that it's going to drive up something in them, you are vibrating high. You have a naturally magnetic presence. That's another sign. People will feel very drawn to you. People will feel very comfortable around you. It's very easy for people to disarm themselves around you. People tend to not be confrontational with you. The right people will find you. I'll do a separate video on how there are some ways to vibrate at your highest. I definitely will do a separate video on that. But you can start with like affirmations. You know, it all starts in your mind. It all starts in what you tell yourself on a daily basis. I believe 80% of the thoughts that everyone has in their brain are negative. I believe it's that high. I believe it's about 80%. 80%, I think it's 80% of your 80% of your thoughts are repeating, and majority of them are negative. So you're repeating the same thoughts every single day, and majority of them are negative. What you feed your brain, feed your soul. What you feed your soul, feed your spirit. And what you feed your spirit is going to feed your physical. And then that's going to be drawn out to everybody. I literally just seen a video on YouTube today talking about subliminals. It wasn't talking about subliminals, but it was like a subliminal to like sleep to, right? And then also you will notice a pattern of men that lose their job, their money, their stability multiple times, different people multiple times. If it is constantly happening, it's not a coincidence. Because your life is not getting fucked up. Your life is cool. You're doing even better in life. So it's not you. Your life ain't in shambles. So it ain't you. It's them. You're a spiritual catalyst. You are the mirror that they need to essentially question their foundation and look at their foundation and figure out, why can I not hold on to these things? Why can I not keep these things? Right? It's like building a house, right? You build a house, but you have untrained professionals building the house. The house is going to stay up until an earthquake comes, right? The house will be cool, not until it's being tested in some way, an earthquake, a hurricane, something like that, where you will really be able to test the stability of this foundation that you have built. You are the earthquake. You are the hurricane. The truth is that when you are a woman who is very high vibrational, you are not for weak men, right? You are not for weak men. If they crumble in your presence, it's not your burden to carry. When they can't get their shit together and they cannot regain their footing, it's game over. Because your energy is a gift. It elevates, it transforms, and it can destroy. That's why I'm using natural disasters. Natural disasters are high energy. It can only destroy when the foundation was weak to begin with. The man that has his energy together, the man that has his shit together, he's not going to fall apart. He is going to rise in your presence. So, someone said every time I leave a man, they lose weight at a sickening pace and look older in no time. Most likely because they were siphoning your energy. Usually they had to siphon your energy in order to look good, in order to glow. Like if a woman is stagnant or she has regressed, she's with a man that is siphoning her energy. Point blank period. Point blank period. Whenever you see photos of men and women together and they've been together for a long time, And like, he's looking wonderful. He's aging in reverse. She's getting older. You know, she's gained a lot of weight. He's siphoning her energy in most cases. In most cases, her energy is being siphoned. She's not getting any energy poured into her. Her energy is only getting extracted, and she doesn't have anything or anyone to replenish her. Yes, that trend on TikTok that's going on right now. Exactly. Attraction isn't charity. Love isn't a reward for endurance. If you're not in a position to lead or protect, don't expect a woman to step into a relationship that feels more like rescue than romance. Exactly. Exactly. You're never supposed to build someone up. You're never supposed to let someone drain your energy. I've lost so much weight and glowing now that I'm single. That's why I'm very afraid of being involved again. Girl, I heard that. I heard that. Yeah. Usually, whenever I'm in a relationship or I'm dealing with men, my weight will be okay. It's my skin. It is. It's my skin. My skin will have all types of crazy manifestations happen whenever I am with a man. I will get acne. With my ex-boyfriend, my lips were like getting discolored. They were like getting discolored. Yeah, it was bad. Like, I remember when I was like dating constantly and I was in a really low place. I didn't have no fucking business dating anyone. Oh my goodness, it was so bad. It was so bad. I could feel the energy, the negative energy just like radiating in my skin because yeah, I could not keep my skin clear for shit. Could not keep it clear for shit. But when I'm single, when I'm not dealing with anyone, when I'm minding my own business, I my skin is glowing, I'm good, no issue. Sometimes my eczema flares really bad while I date. Yeah, you have to pay attention to those things. This is why, as a woman, it is so important for you to pay attention to your body. There is a spiritual diagnosis for everything. Everything. Acne, weight gain, STDs. There is a spiritual diagnosis for every single thing. You have to know how your body works. And then when you see your body not operating the way it normally does, you have to decide what was the common denominator. When this started happening, what new thing did I introduce? So that is all for today. I hope you all enjoyed this live stream. Yeah. If you have ever, felt like you're too much for men, please let me know in the comments after I save this video. And I really do appreciate you all for joining me. I lost 15 pounds when I was with a narc. I looked like the shell of a human when I broke up with him. He still tries to contact me after 4 years because he loved the way my energy lifted him up. Of course. Of course. Another example of them siphoning energy. This is why I have this channel, for you to be energetically aligned and vibrating higher to where you never put yourself in that position. You were the heaviest in your last relationship. Now I'm a beast in the gym. It's quite mind-blowing. Yep. So, ladies, that is it for today. I will see you all next time, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye.